What if the Kennedy half-dollar sitting in your pocket, an old coin jar, or a forgotten family collection is worth far more than you ever expected? Before you spend that 1997 D Kennedy half-dollar, you need to know what collectors are really looking for. Some examples may have rare mint errors, exceptional condition, or unique features that make them much more desirable than ordinary coins. In today's video, we'll uncover the fascinating history of the 1997 D Kennedy half-dollar, reveal the details that can increase its collector value, and show you exactly what to check before letting this coin slip through your hands. Stay with us, you might discover something you've never noticed before. The coin number 1. Imagine reaching into your pocket, opening an old coin jar, or looking through a collection that has been sitting untouched for decades, only to discover that one ordinary-looking Kennedy half-dollar could be far more interesting than you ever imagined. Millions of Americans have owned the 1976 bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar, yet very few people know the fascinating story behind why it was created, how it became one of the most recognizable commemorative coins in United States history, and why certain examples have become highly sought after by collectors. Before you spend or ignore one of these coins, take a closer look, because the details on its surface could reveal a story that began nearly 50 years ago. Today, we're uncovering the complete history, the secrets behind its design, what makes some examples more collectible than others, and how to recognize the versions that attract serious coin collectors. The story begins in the early 1970s as the United States prepared to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Rather than creating an entirely new currency system, officials decided to honor this historic milestone by redesigning several circulating coins. The quarter, the half-dollar, and the dollar would all receive special reverse designs while keeping their familiar portraits on the front. The Kennedy half-dollar was chosen because it had already become one of the nation's most recognizable coins after first appearing in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy following his assassination. For the bicentennial celebration, the front continued to display Kennedy's portrait, but the date was changed to the dual inscription 1776-1976, making it instantly recognizable as a commemorative issue. Unlike most American coins, which display only a single year, every bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar carries the same dual date regardless of whether it was struck in 1975 or 1976. In fact, no Kennedy half-dollars dated 1975 were produced for circulation. Instead, all coins made during those 2 years bear the commemorative date 1776-1976. That unique feature alone makes these coins stand out in collections and often surprises people who are unaware of the decision made during the bicentennial celebration. The reverse design was created by Seth G. Huntington, whose artwork won a national competition. His design features Independence Hall in Philadelphia, one of the most important buildings in American history. It was inside this landmark that the Declaration of Independence was debated and adopted, forever changing the course of the nation. The image of Independence Hall symbolizes freedom, independence, and the birth of the United States. Around the design are the words United States of America, half-dollar, and the national motto E pluribus unum. Every detail was carefully chosen to remind Americans of the country's remarkable journey over 2 centuries. When these coins entered circulation, they quickly became popular. Many people decided not to spend them because they believed the special date would make them valuable in the future. As a result, millions of bicentennial Kennedy half-dollars were saved in drawers, albums, piggy banks, and family collections. Even today, it is common for people to discover these coins while sorting through inherited collections or old jars of change. Their popularity has helped preserve many examples in excellent condition. The bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar was struck at several United States mint facilities. Coins without a mint mark were produced in Philadelphia, those carrying the D mint mark came from Denver, and special collector versions with an S mint mark were produced in San Francisco. Although all 3 versions share the same basic appearance, They were made using different methods and for different purposes. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins with mirror-like surfaces and specially prepared dies, while some collector editions also contained 40% silver instead of the standard copper-nickel composition used for most circulating pieces. One of the biggest misunderstandings surrounding this coin is the belief that every bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar is extremely valuable. In reality, most circulated examples remain common because hundreds of millions were produced. However, that does not mean every coin has the same value. Collectors pay attention to factors such as condition, strike quality, mint mark, silver composition, proof finish, and unusual mint errors. These characteristics can dramatically influence collector interest and, in some cases, market value. Condition plays a major role in coin collecting. A coin that has spent decades in circulation often develops scratches, worn details, and dull surfaces. Another coin from the same year that was carefully preserved can retain sharp features, bright luster, and attractive eye appeal. Because collectors appreciate well-preserved coins, examples in exceptional condition are generally much more desirable than heavily worn pieces. Professional grading services examine these qualities carefully before assigning a numerical grade, which helps buyers and sellers evaluate rarity within different condition levels. Another fascinating aspect of the bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar is its connection to American history. Unlike many commemorative items that quickly disappear from public attention, this coin continues to remind people of the nation's bicentennial celebration. Every time someone discovers one in circulation or inherits one from a family member, they are holding a small piece of that historic event. The coin represents far more than metal. It reflects the excitement, patriotism, and national pride that surrounded America's 200th birthday. As the years passed, collectors began searching for the finest surviving examples. Some focused on brilliant uncirculated coins with original mint luster, while others sought proof coins preserved in their original government packaging. Specialists also searched for varieties showing unusual minting characteristics. This growing interest transformed the bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar from a simple commemorative issue into a coin with numerous collecting possibilities, each offering its own story and appeal. In the next part, we'll explore the different mint marks, silver versions, proof coins, collectible errors, and the characteristics that separate ordinary examples from the most desirable pieces sought by collectors today. The coin number 2. Have you ever wondered whether a Kennedy half-dollar hiding in an old drawer, coin album, or family collection could be more interesting than it first appears? Most people glance at these coins for only a moment before putting them aside, never realizing that collectors often study the smallest details to determine whether a coin is common or truly desirable. The 1997 D. Kennedy half-dollar is one of those coins that many people overlook, yet it has become an important part of the long-running Kennedy half-dollar series. While the vast majority of these coins are worth only a modest amount, exceptional examples, unusual mint errors, and top-quality certified pieces can attract much stronger interest from collectors. In this video, we'll uncover the history of the 1997 D. Kennedy half-dollar, why it was produced, what makes some examples stand out, and the features that collectors carefully examine before deciding a coin's value. The story of the Kennedy half-dollar began in 1964, shortly after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. The United States wanted to honor the late president with a circulating coin that millions of Americans could hold in their hands. Sculptors adapted Kennedy's portrait for the front of the coin, while the reverse featured the presidential seal with a majestic eagle, shield, olive branch, arrows, and a ring of stars. That classic design continued for decades, including on the 1997 D issue, making it one of the most recognizable coins in modern American history. By 1997, the half-dollar was no longer commonly used in everyday shopping. Credit cards, smaller denominations, and changing spending habits meant that many Kennedy half-dollars went directly from the mint into storage rather than daily circulation. This unusual situation helped preserve many coins in attractive condition, but it also meant that truly outstanding examples, those with exceptional luster, strong strikes, and almost perfect surfaces, became the ones collectors searched for most eagerly. The letter D on the coin identifies it as a product of the Denver Mint, one of the busiest minting facilities in the United States. Every coin struck there begins as carefully prepared metal strips that are punched into blanks. These blanks are softened through heating, cleaned, and then struck under enormous pressure between engraved dies. Even though modern machinery is highly precise, tiny differences in striking pressure, die wear, and metal flow can produce subtle variations that experienced collectors enjoy studying. To many people, every 1997 D. Kennedy half-dollar looks exactly the same. However, numismatists know that appearance can be deceiving. A coin with bright original mint luster, crisp details in Kennedy's hair, and minimal contact marks can be dramatically more desirable than another example that spent years in circulation. Professional grading services evaluate these characteristics carefully, assigning numerical grades that help establish collector value. The highest grade examples are the ones that receive the greatest attention because they are much harder to find than ordinary circulated coins. One reason collectors remain fascinated by Kennedy half-dollars is their connection to American history. Each coin represents more than its face value. It reflects the memory of a president whose influence continues to be remembered decades later. As new generations begin collecting coins, many choose the Kennedy series because it combines historical significance with a wide variety of dates, mint marks, finishes, and collectible challenges. The 1997 D issue forms one chapter in that larger story, linking modern coinage with a design that has remained familiar for generations. Collectors also know that small details can make an enormous difference. Tiny minting mistakes, die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or other genuine mint errors can transform an otherwise ordinary coin into an interesting collectible. Such errors are not common, and every unusual piece should be examined carefully before assumptions are made about its value. Authentication and grading by respected third-party services are often important steps when a coin appears to have unusual characteristics. Another factor influencing collector demand is originality. Many people attempt to clean old coins, believing this improves their appearance. In reality, improper cleaning often reduces collector appeal because it removes the natural surfaces that experts prefer. A naturally preserved 1997 D. Kennedy half-dollar, even if lightly toned with age, is generally considered more desirable than one that has been polished or altered. Preserving a coin in its original state gives future collectors the best opportunity to evaluate it accurately. As interest in modern United States coinage continues to grow, collectors increasingly search for the finest surviving examples from every year. The 1997 D. Kennedy half-dollar reminds us that collecting is not simply about finding the rarest coin imaginable. It is about understanding history, recognizing quality, appreciating craftsmanship, and learning how seemingly ordinary objects can tell remarkable stories. Sometimes the greatest excitement comes not from discovering a coin worth a fortune, but from recognizing details that millions of other people have overlooked. In the next part, we'll explore the mintage of the 1997 D. Kennedy half-dollar, how condition affects collector value, the most notable era varieties, certified high-grade examples, and the qualities that make certain coins especially desirable among modern Kennedy half-dollar collectors.